Get ready for 2 hours of hard-hitting football talk, straight from their jocks about the jocks. It's Football on the Know with Jim and Joe.
What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Football on the Know Show. I am Jim McPhee, and right there is Mr. Joe DeCapita.
What's going on, Know-It-Alls? Welcome back. Jim, welcome back.
Yeah, I can't really stay. I got to go celebrate with my teammates, though, so see you later.
I can't wait to just get excited about these playoffs, man. The run that's been going on, the roller coaster that we've been on this whole entire season has been just straight whiplash. Like, I don't even know what to make sense of some of these teams, but we've been doing our damnedest to try to figure these teams out. And now we're getting closer and closer to the end of the regulation and playoffs right around the corner. Only a few weeks remaining, Jim. I can't wait to dive into this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of different things can happen in the next couple of weeks. All right, let's go to it for the topic here tonight, Joe.
Oh, really? You want me to headline the show here? You want me to do this? I got you. No problem.
Nope. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're going to give you guys
Jesus,
our playoff locks. That's what we're going to do. You know, and we want to hear from you guys too on this, you know, because, you know, the season has taught us nothing about these teams. I mean, obviously everyone has to face injuries and deal with that whole deal, but we're at the point now where some teams look great one week, and then the same teams that we think are turning the corner and are going to be the one of the tougher teams to beat just flat out lose to a team that they have no business losing to. So let's get this thing kicked off, Jim. We're going to give you our playoff locks. First things first here, we're going to give you guys one team that we are stamping our name on and saying, without a doubt, they are locked in the playoffs. Jim, who do you got for your team? And let's do AFC. Let's do AFC.
AFC?
Yeah.
Again, AFC side, let's look at the playoff picture. For me, I mean, I think I really like the Texans. That's a team that can even take it to the house here when it's all said and done. They've got, you know, a pretty easy schedule. They've got, you know, the Cardinals and then the Chargers with the banged up, just potentially they could pull out a victory. So now for the rest of the season too. So Philip Rivers. So I think now they're in a really good spot. That defense is Stroud's back and healthy. CJ too right now. So if they can keep this vibe going, and for me on the AFC, I think they're locked in and ready to go.
Christian says, how'd the whole Wi-Fi tune-up go this week, brother? Well,
I think it went pretty.
It went pretty good. Right? It went pretty good, and then as soon as you started to give your answer, it started to act up. So we're gonna have to just kind of power through that and figure all that out. But
what the hell,
Jimmy? All right, back to the playoff locks. Okay, for me, for the AFC, it's going to be the same team. It's going to be the Houston Texans. I mean, honestly, this is probably one of the hottest AFC teams that are getting hot at the right moment. There's a few weeks remaining in the regular season. This team as a whole is playing better. We already knew about their defense and how good it was, but it's superseding our expectations at this point. And then you team that up with the fact that this offense and CJ Stroud back again, healthy. This team offensively is getting healthier, and they're able to gel and create that chemistry that is much needed for a playoff run, possibly a deep playoff run. Give me the Texans in the AFC. For the NFC, I've battled with this. I want to pick the Lions. I really want to pick the Lions, saying they're going to lock their spot into the postseason, but I got to go with a team that's basically overcoming all odds, injuries, lack of their starters being in the lineup for most of the season, and they're still able to claw their way into the 6th seed currently. They should be cementing themselves, the San Francisco 49ers. This is a team that has overcome a lot of odds, and now you're seeing with really good coaching, along with some of the players that have had to step up into roles like where Fred Werner left and Nick Bosa left. They have all these other guys that are stepping up and playing really good football, offensively and defensively. I, I gotta say that the Niners, to me, are going to be that team in the NFC.
All right. Much different because I've got the Niners too as well too. I mean, I think maybe just that when you're looking at both teams on the AFC side and the NFC, these two teams have one glaring thing right now is the fact that now they're getting healthier for one. They've got really great defense right now too. And
Right.
they're playing team, right? San Francisco is a resting week too. So let's hope that they can push forward. Like you said, without Fred Warner still playing. They missed out on a lot. One of those that didn't have their starting wide receivers and played well with backups, as opposed to like who have Josh Allen and no wide receivers and they play like ass. What's the difference here? I think it's coaching. And Kyle Shanahan, he's been to the Super Bowl multiple times. Never a bride, but hey, he's been there, right? So he's got the mentality and he's got the pedigree, right, to take him again. So I'm happy with the 49ers as well.
All right, Jim. Everybody out there, really do appreciate you checking in on us. Want to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. Please let us know what your one team in the AFC and one team in the NFC is your playoff lock for the postseason. And that being said, we're going to move on to our game picks for this week. Week 15, we're diving in here. I got to tell you, Jim, it's not getting any easier. We've been through the most of the season at this point, and some teams are still disappointing even to this stamp in time here for the schedule. We're
Yeah.
at week 15. We're going to start off with the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tomorrow night's game. Who do you got?
Yeah, like you said, Joe, this last week really got me. Last week I think was the most confident ever, and I only went 8-6. It is damn overtime games and comeback victories just kills me here and upsets. Whoever saw the Bucks losing to the Saints, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Shout out to Javon out there too. He gave us his locks. He's got Buffalo and Seattle out there. Looks like you and I fill out the same thing. And Christian, New York playoff lock. Yeah, they're locked out, right?
Next,
they're locked
they're
out
either
in the
locked
cold.
out this year or he's calling it now 5 years later.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, yeah,
Maybe he's getting
yeah.
ahead of us.
But all right, so Thursday night we've got the Atlanta Falcons and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is one of those, I could see getting bounced out of the playoffs if they don't keep their stuff together here because they've got all the right weapons, right? You got Bucky Irving coming back healthy, he's been there for a couple weeks now, getting going. Chris Godwin came back, and so all these guys are coming back, and now you've got to hit your stride and kind of get this going. But they're just not playing up to it, and they're playing to their opponents, and now they've got really divisional games here, and I think anybody can take these ones. The Panthers twice, so it's going to be a rough road ahead for them. But seeing they're at home, way Atlanta, that defense has really kind of been going for them. I think I'm going to have to side with the home team, the Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're in a little bit of a pickle right now. They're leading the division at 7-6. Not the most impressive record to have leading the division, but again, they're at number 1, but Falcons could play spoiler if they're able to work out something this week and upset them, kind of disrupt this whole division and really open it right up. The Buccaneers, though, this is a team that they need to start stepping on the gas pedal now. They're getting Mike Evans. He's been activated today, so he'll be practicing all week. He'll be returning to the lineup this week. So this team, at least offensively, should look much better than it has in the past several weeks. Defensively, this is the concern that I have for Tampa Bay is the fact that they never seem to play up to par with their talent that they have. And that falls all on Todd Bowles, the head coach. He was brought in here to improve the defense. He improved talent-wise, but we're still not seeing the evidence that, this team can handle playoff caliber defensive football. And that right there is the reason why I feel like they've lost some games too, is the lack of defense that he brings to the table. Atlanta Falcons, they're another team that's been up and down. Michael Penix goes down with an injury. Kirk Cousins steps into the spotlight. Again, this is another one of those type of teams where they've been up, they've been down, they've never been consistent. So, I mean, with that being said, give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home to extend that lead in the division and become 8-6. Moving on to the Baltimore Ravens, yet another divisional game for them, and the Cincinnati Bengals are at home. Jim, Ravens, Bengals, what losing team is going to win?
What losing team is going to win? Well, Chicago, they always Cleveland, I think Shedeur Sanders, the addition there, him has actually been a bit of a spark. Cleveland's got really good defense. Chicago, again, their defense, they're kind of licking their chops after, just a really close loss here. So I think they're going to come back strong in this one. So
it's Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Sheet. My bad. My sheet has it differently. Sorry. Cincinnati Bengals. Okay. Well, Cincinnati, again, the close game that they had, they probably should have won that one in Buffalo in the snow, mishaps here and tipped interceptions. I might even tip my hat to Cincinnati on this one, but Baltimore really needs this one to win. And with having Trey Hendrickson, especially here on defense for Cincinnati, I'm going to side with the Baltimore Ravens on this one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is a tough one too, because I've been tricked by the Baltimore Ravens. Just when I early on in the season, I'm like, yep, they should be able to win not only the division, but they should be one of those major playoff contenders. And we haven't seen that so far from them. Like, we saw a glimpse of it early on, but since it's faded, Lamar Jackson is not playing like he normally plays. He's not keeping defenses on their heels with his mobility. And also, on the flip side of things, the Baltimore Ravens defense has been a little lackluster, regardless of who's in that lineup. So they have major concerns at the wrong time of the season, a team that's tripping over themselves. And then you have the Cincinnati Bengals, who technically can still keep their playoff hopes alive by winning this game, and a team that honestly should have won last week. They should have beat the Buffalo Bills, but they just came up short. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals in this one, to be honest. And they got a little bit more of good news. The rookie Shamar Stewart has been activated, so he'll be brought back into the lineup. Now, Joseph Asai, who's been holding it down at the defensive end position, has been really playing good football, and now he might be getting some help with Shamar Stewart, the rookie. So give me the Bengals in this one, honestly. I'm going to stick with Cincinnati getting the win here, and the Ravens, pretty much, if they lose this game, they're pretty much going to be eliminated. Moving on to the next game, we're going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders at the Philadelphia Eagles. Jim, I'm going to start off real quick and just say Philadelphia Eagles all the way. I don't think this is much of a game, even though the Raiders are getting a little bit of a spark, and Kenny Pickett is going to get the start this week. So Geno Smith said he got hurt. He left the field. I don't know what that situation's all about, because it didn't seem too bad. But anyways, Eagles are too good of a team. After what Philly showed us, or didn't show us, I should say, last week, I think they're going to take it all out on the Raiders.
Yeah, I think they get right this week. They've got a really easy schedule, a couple weeks. So that's big and easy. Bouncing back here, easy. I see Barkley light it up here. Big day.
Yeah, Christian, thank you for your input. He said he took the easy route, by the way. Our boy Christian said NFC LA Rams, AFC New England Patriots. Of course, those two teams are really good. Of course, they're going to be locked in. We wanted you guys to do it. It's a little bit more of a challenge. Pick somebody that's like on the fence, would you, Christian? Come on, man. You're better than
Yeah.
that.
And
Jeez,
shit's brown and
Louise.
the sky is blue. Mhm.
All right, that takes us to our next game. We have the Arizona Cardinals at home again. Well, the Cardinals aren't home, but the Houston Texans will be home. This is going to be a good matchup, though. Despite what the Cardinals have been lately, they've been literally underwhelming. Even Jacoby Brissett isn't playing well at all versus what he was doing in the middle of the season. He doesn't look very good. Obviously, they're going to be looking for a new quarterback after this year with the announcement that Kyler Murray and them are pretty much going to get a divorce. Cardinals got a lot of changes that need to be made, especially personnel wise. Houston Texans, we talked about it earlier in the show, how they are the one team that is on fire at this point. Perfect
Mhm.
time in the season to rack up momentum and carry that into the playoffs. For me, this is going to be not like it's going to be easy, but I will say this: the Texans will end up winning this game.
Yes. Yeah, Arizona, I think they had their time. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with the way they're playing now, like that Jonathan Gannon's job is in jeopardy. Even though I kind of like him and I thought they even were kind of gonna have a spark this year. But sitting aside of everything and how it's been going down. And I think he even went off on a player at one point too, and everybody scolded him for doing that. So I mean, it doesn't seem like he can do anything right there. So it's interesting to see the Arizona Cardinals situation over there. But I think either way, they're gonna have a different back next year. Brissett's playing all right, but he's like a one-trick pony, right? And that's why I think what kind of led him to that interception this past week too. Throws the mean fastball, but he doesn't have any curves. He doesn't have a touch on the ball where he needs it. And that's what led to even that interception, I think, this past week. So they are what they are. Houston playing at home defense. I think they're going to feast on this one. I don't think it's going to be close. I think Houston dominates in this one at home.
All right, that brings us to our next game. The LA Chargers going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. This could be the elimination game. If the Chargers end up pulling off a win here, that will eliminate the Kansas City Chiefs from not only just winning the division, but they'll be definitely out of the playoffs. So, LA Chargers, this is a great opportunity for them to not only knock off one of the uh, teams for the last 10 years in that AFC West that's been terrorizing that division and everybody in the playoffs. This is a chance for the LA Chargers to basically knock them out and then not have to worry about them in the postseason. So, can they do it with a beat up offensive line, beat up quarterback? You know,
Yeah.
they have weaponry. They have a good defense, but they got to pull out all the stops in this game. It is in Kansas City, tough
Yeah.
place to play. The Chiefs also, they're going to be fighting for their lives in this one,
Yeah.
100%. Even though the Chargers are beat up and everything, I'm going to go with the LA Chargers eliminating the Chiefs this week and overcoming all the odds that with all those injuries.
Yeah. I mean, Kansas City just barely couldn't get that this week, and you see that they are defeated there. But not all hope is lost. They will be playing the Chargers, who are banged up, in every aspect, even their quarterback. They turning the ball over a bunch of times last week against that, the Philly team, who was basically giving it back to as well. You're not going to have that with Kansas City. You're not going to have the referees against the Kansas City Chiefs like they were last week. So
Right.
I'm going to say the Kansas City Chiefs all day in this one. I think everybody's going to be eating on that. Let's see Tranquil in the backfield. I'm going to see Chris Jones in the back. I'm going to see everybody in the
I
back
don't
get
think so.
with that beat up offensive line.
Yeah, it's nice to think that, but I really think that even though they are beat up with that offensive line, that Chris Jones has been a shell of himself too. Like that defense is good, but it really hasn't been taking over games and holding opponents to nothing. So uh, That's what I worry about in this one. I think the Chargers definitely can keep pace with Justin Herbert throwing the ball and also running. So it'll make it for a great game, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Daniel has
Yeah.
something to comment. He said, "Go Chargers! Got to go with the quarterback who has the smoking hot girlfriend and the swagger that he has." Very
Yeah, I
true
mean,
words.
it shows to everybody out there that's kind of awkward looking, has acne, bad, weird, offsetting facial hair, and kind of a D bag. You can score a hot chick, right? So there is hope.
Next game we got is the Buffalo Bills against the New England Patriots. One of the most coveted games this week, Jim.
Mhm.
Buffalo Bills got to fight to stay alive. Can they do it against New England though? The way New England's been playing, Drake May is on involved in the MVP race. This
Mhm.
defense for the Patriots is playing out of their minds. The offense is coming together. Rookies, veterans, you name it, it's there. If Josh Allen in this one does not run for like 2 touchdowns and throw for 2 touchdowns, then most likely they'll probably lose the game because that's how it's been pretty much all season. Josh Allen has to play out of his mind just to get some wins. You look at last week too. It's so self-evident that they played the Bengals and we called it and said it was going to be a high-scoring game, but it was still had to end with Josh Allen. He had to have a great game for them to win. And he did so. This one, though, however, this is going to be a much tougher matchup. Divisional opponent, obviously. But the Patriots are not what they were a year ago. They are a much different team, of a contender in the playoffs. Give me New England. They are home. I'm going to take the Patriots in this one, giving the Bills a loss.
Yeah, I mean, Patriots put it to them last time. They know the formula. They know how to beat them. You got Vrabel there and company. They're at home. It's going to be tough. Buffalo, you saw more of what we've been talking last week. If it's not, Josh Allen playing like Superman, then you're not going to get it done. And I don't see him getting it done here to split the difference here. They should have took one when they were at home before, and they didn't. So now it's they're going to be 0-2 in this division against the Patriots, and that's going to put them a little further out in this playoff bracket here.
Yeah. Daniel says, "Go Buffalo." He
Superman has
said,
been
"Superman
awakened.
has been awakened."
Sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's been awake all season,
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah.
It's not like he fell asleep. He's been awake all season. It's just everybody else around him has to step up.
Unfortunately,
Um,
he's throwing to kryptonite all the time.
Next game we got the New York Jets, or if some people out there like to consider them the New Jersey Jets,
Yes.
against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. There's no science to this pick. I mean, the better team is going to win. The Jacksonville Jaguars are superior to the Jets and just about every other team. So give me the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not really have to dive into it too much.
Right. Again, Jacksonville's defense really good at creating turnovers. Jets really good at turning the ball over. So I'm going to give it to the Jacksonville Jaguars at home to keep the winning streak alive.
That's right. Daniel said, okay, if Buffalo wins, you both shave all the hair on your heads and face. That's easy for me. That's real easy for me.
So
Dan, are
that's a
you
shot at
watching the
me.
show?
That's a shot at me. Shots fired, right?
Uh, okay, Dan. That's okay. If that's the case, then if Buffalo loses, you have to shave everything and come on the
That's a
show.
bigger bet for him. He has a full beard right now, I think, long hair.
There
So
you go. You got to shave your head and beard and come on the show so you can, debut it. That
there
sounds
you
like a good
go.
one.
How about that? You can do a before and after.
We got,
Mhm.
got stakes on the line.
There you go.
Next game we got is the Washington Commanders at the New York Giants. Big Blue with Jackson Dart
Hey, Dan, go Buffalo.
against Washington. Oh my God. I don't know what's going to happen here. Like
Uh,
both teams, they're at a point in the season where both teams should just stop trying to win. Um,
yeah.
but someone is going to win this game. And I don't like the Commanders' defense and what they've been. The lack of adding talent on the defensive side of the ball this offseason, I just don't know what they're doing. I understand. I like what they did in the draft. They did draft some high-end defensive end or defensive talent that I do like, that I think is going to develop nicely for them. But no free agents, no trades, nothing of the sort, and it's basically the same with sprinkled rookies here and there. Jaden Daniels, obviously stupid of them to even or allow the coaching staff allowing him to play last week and getting hurt again. So here we are. Marcus Mariota taking the job again. The New York Giants with Jackson Dart, with this defense that they got a better defense than the Commanders. So I'm going to go with the Giants at home getting the W.
All right. You know me, I pick against the Giants every single time.
Go Commanders.
So, not much said. Next.
All right, next game we got is the Cleveland Browns with Shedeur Sanders leading the way. Honestly, and crazy thing is, Shedeur Sanders got named QB1 now, officially, is the number one quarterback for Cleveland for the rest of the season and most likely next season. He's been given then the torch has been passed now to Shedeur, and he looked good last week. Got to give him credit. I'm not the hugest fan of Shedeur, but man, for throwing it 363 passing yards, a couple touchdowns, he looked pretty good. Can he do the same thing in Chicago against the Bears? This is going to be a true test for Shedeur and this Cleveland offense. Again, we said this before the season even started. The Browns' weakness is their lack of wide receiving core. They need more high talented players in that wide receiver group. The offensive line needs to be upgraded. You know, they have some young talented running backs, but again, it's just not enough. Can it be enough this week? We'll see. Chicago Bears, they're a team they're in the playoffs right now currently, but they need to continue to win these games. So a Bears defense that we knew was good. You know, Caleb Williams playing much better football with Ben Johnson at the helm, calling the offensive plays, being creative, and mixing things up. Give me the Chicago Bears at home.
Started to prelude to this game earlier, so I'm just going to go with what I home.
There you go. Next game, we have Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. Panthers and Saints. Who's going to show up this week, Jim? Because sometimes the Panthers show up and show out, and likewise with the Saints. Look at what they did last week. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, division rival. Will they do it again? Will they beat the Carolina Panthers? It's a coin flip at this point between these two. What are we going to see from the Panthers? Are they going to show up? You know what I mean? It's one of these flip the coin but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints on this one, and we'll see what happens.
Typically, the way it rolls here for the test here on the road, it changes here. Normally, I would have with the Saints here, but I'm going to roll with the Carolina and pull out victory here and make that press for that playoff spot here. Tampa Bay Bucks.
All right, our next game, very good game, by the way. The Detroit Lions at the LA Rams. This one right here is going to be a good game to watch. Detroit Lions are still fighting for the right to play in the postseason, honestly. And they have a decent defense. Their offense seemed to play much better last week. Can they continue that momentum into this week against, honestly, one of the best, if not the best, NFC team that they're going to have to go up against? And that's the LA Rams. Stafford, that offense of theirs is clicking. Like you mentioned, was it last night, Jim? You brought up the fact that Kyren Williams and Blake Corum are now teaming up and having one hell of a game every week for them. So a lot of weapons that the Detroit Lions defense is going to have to contend with. And then likewise, on the defensive side for the Rams, a very young, tenacious type of defense that Jared Goff is going to have to fight against, and Jameer Gibbs. Great matchup. Ah, I'm just I'm gonna go with the LA Rams on this one, being home and the fact that like the way they've been playing, there's no reason why they end up losing this game too. But we've seen crazier things.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a bit of a shootout here, but I'm going to side with the Rams as well. Did not good under pressure, and I think that's the to go with the Los Angeles Rams.
Gotcha. And then the next game that we got on the docket here, we got the Indianapolis Colts, who recently signed off the couch 44-year-old Philip Rivers to lead the team and try their damnedest to make the playoffs. They are going up against the Seattle Seahawks. It's a very tough matchup this week to bring in Philip Rivers. But again, this is a guy who you really only need him to get you like probably two more wins to make the playoffs. Um, for the Colts, they are also hurt in the injury department on the defensive side of the ball. So not nothing's really going their way, so to speak, at this point. The Seattle Seahawks, however, are coming off a major game buster of a defensive game for them. Constant turnovers last week, picking the ball off, getting fumbles, and then Sam Darnold looked playing pretty well last week. Now, can he do it again? Can he consistently, no matter who the matchup is, can he consistently continue to get those wins? I think in this one, I think even with an older Philip Rivers coming in here, they're just kind of it's a roll of the dice, really. They're praying. They're just praying that somehow, some way, Rivers can get them into the playoffs. I don't think it's going to be enough. So give me the Seattle Seahawks in this one.
Was with like you said, a retired quarterback against Seattle and how they're playing. Yeah, that's going to bode well. So I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks here at home. They're playing at a high level, good defense. Sam Darnold's doing all right. Jackson Smith and Jigba are just lighting it up all over the place all day in this one.
Next game, we got the Green Bay Packers against the Denver Broncos. Broncos at home. This is going to be one hell of a matchup. You got one of the best defenses in the Broncos. You got a Packers defense that when they're ready to go, they got one of the best defenses too. But which side of the defense are we going to see? We're going to see the good or the bad, or maybe the ugly. Who knows? But again, this is going to be one of those matchups where the Packers, you'd want to knock the Broncos down a peg here. Jordan Love needs to play, bring his A game for the rest of the season, obviously, but he's been up and down as well. Broncos have been that kind of, they don't win by any like major margin or anything like that. They don't put away teams, they don't destroy them, but they just seem to always come out with the W. It's a lot of times it's ugly, but it's effective. So, can they hold up against the Packers though? This is where it gets a little interesting for me. I think this is one of those matchups where the Broncos are going to get down early, and once again they're going to have to try to fight their way back, and I don't know if they can pull it off this time around. I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers in this one, going into Denver and getting a W. Jim, what do you got?
Ugly but effective. That sounds like Denver and Green Bay can go and tell you the truth. Denver's got a good defense again, but I don't trust. Even though, despite with Green Bay, how they kind of lethargic a little bit here and there, even though the talent, everybody in the roster was, you're like, wow, okay. They've got to play up to it this week, and I think they can. So I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers to kind of bring the Denver Broncos back to earth on this one.
Yeah, next game we got oh my God, Jim, this is going to be awesome. the Tennessee Titans against the San Francisco
Mm,
49ers. Um, not too much to
yeah.
talk about this
Start
one.
the pickups.
I like what the 49ers have been able to do. This is a game that they should definitely be able to win. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. The Titans have been one of the dumpster fires of the NFL. So not much to talk about.
Yeah, that was another one that we missed last week. Surprise victory with the Tennessee Titans. Who really saw that coming, huh? Oh man, but I don't think they do it again against this San Francisco team. San Francisco's lighting up. That was our lock too for the playoffs. So they can't be denied here. I'm going San Francisco as well.
Next game will be Sunday night under the lights. Minnesota Vikings against the Dallas Cowgirls. Oh, I mean Cowboys. Sorry. They will be home in
Mhm.
Dallas. This is interesting. Honestly, like the Minnesota Vikings, they looked better last week, but they didn't convince me anything. Yes, they had the running game picked up. JJ McCarthy didn't screw up too much. Like, he limited his mistakes. But I just don't think it's going to be enough against the Dallas Cowboys, who their defense is playing better lately. Their offense has been impeccable. So it's almost going to be like Minnesota's not going to, they're going to have to abandon the run early on and try to stay in this ball game. Give me the Dallas Cowboys getting the win.
Yeah, last week was kind of I was remembering Washington of prior week and I last saw that Minnesota. I was looking at them, and the last time I saw JJ McCarthy play, and that's where I came up with Washington taking that one, and it blew up in my face. This week, that was just a circumstance last week, getting on all cylinders like they should have been able to, with Dallas. Dallas has got to be really upset not getting that victory. Even feeling like they've kind of got hosed this week at home. I think they're going to come here and they're going to take the victory.
And last but not least, Jim, we have, the NFL schedulers went well above and beyond on this one. The Miami Dolphins against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh being at home Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, who knows with this one? Honestly, like the Steelers have not been that impressive at times this year, and they've
Mm-hmm.
kind of looked just basically average for the most part. Early on in the year, they looked like they were maybe going to be a contender, a major player in the postseason. And even though right now they're in the division lead, I gotta say, the Miami Dolphins offense has been playing much better. They've been really doing what's necessary to do to get some of the wins that they've had. I just don't know with this game though. This is a game that the Steelers should be expected to win this game. But I'm gonna be honest, like I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh in this one because
Mm-hmm.
it's a game that they should win for one. For two, it's a game that they need to win to continue that division lead and lock themselves in the playoffs. And the Miami Dolphins, though, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you, if the Miami Dolphins play spoiler in this one.
It being it's been Pittsburgh, I think the weather is going to be too cold for the Miami Dolphins. They're not really a good colder team. And I think that's going to be a difference here. They're going to try to run the ball effectively with Achan. There's key to any kind of chance here. And lately, I think they've been just trying to keep it simpler. Tua also and kind of dink and dunk a little bit and not too many chances down the field. So I think Pittsburgh being at home in the cold on this one.
Excellent, excellent. And that's it for the games, everyone.
All right.
If you
You seriously picked like every home team except for two.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we'll see how crazy
Yeah,
it
we'll
is.
see what happens.
But thanks, guys, for tuning in. Really do appreciate you chiming in, especially in the comment section down below. It was awesome to kind of reach out to you guys, get your guys' opinions on a few things. Jimmy, what do you got? Anything to say to the people?
Not much, but I'll see you guys next week, right?
That's right. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Spread the
See
word.
ya.